Hello Manchester, welcome to our first ever episode of the Hawkeye,
a magazine-style show where we cover important topics, events, students, and staff of the Manchester Township School District.
And in the future, we'll also feature people in the community as well.
So stay tuned, we have a great show for you today.
So, first up, our crew got the chance to go to Whiting Elementary School,
where they got to visit Mr. Sherabone, the district music teacher, Miss Engreen, the media specialist, and visit the new technology lab.
I love those dear hearts and gentle people who live in my hometown because...
Hello, Manchester. I found myself back in my old school in Whiting, small town USA, New Jersey. I'm going to ask around, ask the librarian how technology's changed, how it's improved over the years since I've been here, and how much the school's changed since I've been here. So follow me as I ask these questions.
Well, this Library Media Center has over 11,000 books. It's divided into 5 different areas of the Media Center. There's reference books, easy fiction books, which are also called picture books. We have our fiction section, which the kids call chapter books, and we have nonfiction and biographies. Oh, the students seem to love to come to the Media Center. They even come down during lunchtime, during recess time, either for chess club or for what I call library recess. And it's always, the list is always full when the kids sign up for that. We're trying to increase the currency of our reference section right now. So some of our encyclopedias and almanacs are outdated, so we need more current. Okay. I've been here for almost 26 years, and I've been teaching for 39 years. So, and that whole 26 years I've been at Whiting School in Manchester Township. So, been a second grade teacher and then moved into the Library Media Center. Also teach the Gifted and Talented program here. Oh, technology has just become a tool that we use every day because the students are using the computers for the online library catalog to look up books. They're using it for research. We now have World Book Online, so that's one way that we're keeping our reference section current, is World Book Online is automatically updated. I use digital, what do they call it? Document camera, which is hooked into our large screen TV for storytelling sessions. What I can do is use the document camera to scan the book onto the big screen TV as I'm reading it or telling the story to the students, or I can come up and have the students read and tell the story to the class in that way. We use audio. We have audio books here, which are called playaways, which are self-contained, complete books on it, and it's like an MP3 player. They can check those out and take them home. So it's the different ways. You know, technology is used every day.
All right, well, you heard it here, Manchester. Not much has changed since I've attended this school apart from technology and a few new faces, a new teacher here or there. But all in all, I still enjoyed my experience here, and it's been nice coming back here. So I'm Kyle with MTHS 21. That's all I have for you today.
I'm here at Whiting Elementary School in front of the computer lab. The technology here has really improved. They recently obtained some new iPads and they updated their computer lab. Let's go take a look.
We were very fortunate this year. We applied for a grant from the Ocean First Foundation, which is the local bank in Toms River, and they give out, they were giving out 15 grants of $15,000 each, and there were 75 applicants. It was a long process. It took a couple of months for us to complete all of the parts of the grant. There was a lot of research that we had to do, but we just found out this past October that our school had won the grant, and the $15,000 was going to be used to change this room into the model classroom for the 21st century. The main thing that we wanted to get were iPads. When we first decided to write this grant, we met my committee. I worked with two teachers very closely. Lindsay Arnold, who now teaches second grade here, and Karen Engren, who is the media specialist here. We decided we wanted to bring in iPads. So we met with Mr. Conover, who's in charge of technology for the district, and we asked him if that would work here, because the iPads need to be hooked up to a wireless internet, and we didn't have wireless technology here. So he did research for us. He decided that this unit that we have is the way to go. It is a wireless router is attached to it. It will hold up to 30 iPads, and it's the charging station for them as well. And it locks, so it's secure. Our grant, through the grant, we were able to purchase 13 iPads. We have also I just received a grant from the Manchester Township Education Foundation for an additional iPad. We've done a lot of fundraising. The first thing we did was we wrote letters to the parents back in the spring, and we said, we want to update our computer lab. We want to bring in iPads. It's going to cost a lot of money. If anybody knew of a business that was willing to donate, if any parents themselves wanted to donate. And it was really neat. We received close to $400 just in donations from the parents. We've had things like pretzel sales where the kids pay $1 and they get a pretzel. And all of that money will go towards buying additional iPads. Dr. Scadisi's been very supportive with this. She's been spearheading the technology in the building and updating it in many of the classrooms. She budgeted for another couple of iPads. So our goal is to have a class set, which the average class size is about 22 children. We're going to have about 18 to start with. We are having one of those breakfast at Applebee's at the end of February. Whatever proceeds we get from that, we'll purchase an additional iPad or two, hopefully. So we're well on our way to have a class set and to be able to use them with all of the students. And there's about 250 or more students in the building that will be able to use these. Well, our school is unique in that we have a preschool class that can use the iPads for their learning how to communicate, and they're learning basic information, so they'll be able to learn like letters and numbers and colors. We have 2 autistic classes, and the students in those classes have communication issues. They will be able to use the iPads for their learning and for their communicating. We have grades K to 5. There's about 2 classes per grade. Those students can come in here with their teachers. Their teachers will sign to use the lab. And they'll be able to use it for, there's reading apps where they can do reading comprehension, practice their reading fluency. There are lots of fun things for math, for learning all the different math concepts. One of the things my students are doing now, we're learning about the solar system, and they're using the NASA apps and the night sky app, which is really cool, and they can see what's really out there in the sky, and they can do research on using the iPads. They're practicing multiplication facts. I don't know if I said that already. There's great geography apps. We also plan on the art teacher and the music teacher coming in. We're going to have GarageBand on the iPad so the kids can learn different musical instruments, because our music teacher, Mr. Sharabone, is real big in instrumentals. There are iPads for the art class, simple drawing iPads, but there's also modern art type things. It's interesting, there's no limit to what you can learn and what you can do. And I mean, you put something electronic in front of a kid and they're going to be motivated. So we're really looking forward to be able to use these. And we also did, the community, we're going to be opening it up to different community members to come in and use them as well, because that's a big focus, is getting the community involved. The Girl Scout troops, there's a lot of senior citizens that live around here. We're tapping into them. There'll be a lot of neat things going on.
We're very fortunate to have obtained the Ocean First grant. Students are really enjoying their iPads and the new computer lab. Thanks for watching, Manchester. For MTHS 21, I'm Casey.
Hi, I'm Sherry here at Whiting Elementary School, where we're going to take a first-hand look at the Wildcats News Studio with Miss Engren. We get to see what the students do on a day-to-day basis as a Wildcats News team.
I am the Library Media Specialist here at Whiting Elementary School, and I also am in charge of our morning news broadcast program, which we call the Wildcats News. We've been doing this for about 13 or 14 years now. It was originally started with Mrs. Booner-Kemper, who is now over at MTES. She and I began it, and then I just kept it going here at Whiting School. The benefits for the students are so many, they're difficult to count. One of the big ones is for the shyer students. It brings them out and it gives them more self-confidence. They can talk to a camera better than they can to each other at times. Students are learning how to run all the different equipment, such as the cameras, that sound equipment, and switches to switch back and forth for the camera, setting up the microphones. They are doing research to find out what the daily weather is. We get that from our weather station, which is on the roof of our building. So they just go online and get that. And if they can't, they use my iPhone to get the weather if the computer's not working. Okay, this is the behind the scenes of our news broadcast every morning. This is our audio board. This is our video modulator, which allows the production to be shown throughout the school. It hooks into our internal cable system. Here are switches for the cameras. We have 2 cameras so that the sound techs can switch between the cameras for the different shots. So one shot can be set up while another shot is being filmed. Here is the monitor where it's hooked into both cameras. So as we switch between the 2 cameras, we can see exactly what's happening live at the moment. It's just a pleasure working with the kids, and the kids really have a good time doing it while they're learning. We have approximately 120 students in Whiting School, in a school that's only about 260 students participating in our news broadcast program. So it's highly popular and highly educational.
This has been shared with MTHS 21's news studio, where today we saw what the future news broadcasters, best known as the Whiting Wildcats news team, have been up to.
Did you know music can influence all areas of learning? We are fortunate to have the music program still operational here at Whiting Elementary with veteran teacher Mr. Sherabone.
First goal that I have is to get kids to love music and to try and get them to want to do music the rest of their lives. When they start out in this classroom setting like this, we're teaching kindergarten, first, second, third, all the grades. The goal of mine is to get them to have a basic knowledge of what a drum is, to do basic drum beats, basic guitar patterns, and to be familiar with the keyboard so that they can use that throughout their lives. How about like this? Yeah. Now, when I have it like this, it's hard to see the letters, so your partner's going to help you. You're going to find E. What color E? Red. You're going to find... Yeah, I've been an elementary school music teacher for 14 years now. My favorite part is doing like what just got done happening in here when I can see kids come together, feel a beat, make the music together, get into it. That's what makes me happy about it. I try and have them have music every single day. You know, right now the program is once a week, and it's very limiting that way. But if they could have this every single day, there'd be no stopping them.
For MTHS 21, I'm Christian. Stay classy.
Play that ready. Looking good. Play that ready for me.
This year, our school drama club put on the production You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
So in this next one up, we got a chance to talk to a few people behind the scenes and see what they really did to contribute to the play.
Have you ever wondered what it took to make a play? It's not really all about the acting and the singing, but about the people behind stage who make it possible.
This year we are performing You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and it's about our favorite characters, Snoopy, Charlie Brown, Linus, Schroeder. The whole gang's here. The stage crew is an integral part of the show. Without the stage crew, the show just can't go on. So although the actors are up in front of the stage, we definitely need the stage crew to run the entire scenes behind the back, as well as off on the sides as well.
I like drama because, first of all, I like to say we're all one big family.
I'm Miss Bean. I teach English for 9th and 10th grade, and I'm in charge of stage crew this year. And what stage crew does is it helps the drama production by moving the set pieces on and off stage at the right time. As you can see, got the walls going on behind me. They help decorate, they help the actors find their props, and they are also in charge of making sure the curtains open and close at the right times. So it's a lot of signals and a lot of execution, and the stage crew this year has done a phenomenal job, and they've been extremely helpful.
Yeah, you'd be a great bench manager, big brother. You could say, bench do this or bench do that. You could even be in charge of where we put the bench. You could be like,
If you've seen anything you liked, like singing or acting or moving the sets, come out for drama club and volunteer in the stage crew. They have a lot for us to do next year, and they're going to need our help. So come out and support.
So, Cass, have you heard about the Impact Club, Peer Mediation, and the New Discovery Club?
No, I haven't, but I really wish I knew more about it.
Well, continue to watch, and maybe you'll find out.
Junior Impact is just a group of 5th grade students that want to help out the community and do what they can to make a difference in Manchester. While it's great for us being young, getting involved in the community and helping make a difference. Well, if you join the Junior Impact Club, you're kind of expected to want to be one of those kids who want to help out. You want to be one of those kids who want to get down and get dirty and do what they can to help out the community. You don't want to be one of those kids who just kind of watch the bad things happen. You want to be one of those, we want one of those people that'll get up and help and do what they can to help out the community.
Well, right now we're doing Pennies for Patients, and basically that's where children can collect change and they'll bring it in, and all the money will go to people with leukemia. And near Thanksgiving, we did our food drive where we went to one of the churches and we helped sort all the cans of food that students from our school brought. Well, I think anything we do can really help improve the community. Whether the project is big or small, it's still helping out and it's still making a big difference.
Can always help out and do a lot of things for our community, like have a cleanup or raise pennies for patients like we are doing now.
Well, in the spring, we are going to the Children's Memorial Garden, and we are going to plant flowers there. And back in the fall, we went there to clean up the place and get it ready for winter. And it's nice going there to show some respect.
We are also doing the toiletry items for conditioner, shampoo, deodorant, toilet paper for the people in need that got hit by Sandy.
And when spring comes, we're going to be doing something called the 21 Club. It's a group of kids that are mentally disabled, and we just kind of go, and they have a prom type dance, and it's at the high school, and the Junior Impact Club goes, and we dance with them, and we give them the punch, and we just kind of it will be a fun experience.
Hello, Manchester. Did you ever have a problem and you didn't know how to handle it? Well, MTES has a conflict resolution plan. Let's see what it's about.
Oh, here, Ms. Foyne.
Nice of you to finally show up, Mr. Fortaways. We've only been waiting for you.
Ms. Foyne, I have responsibilities. I'm sorry I'm late. You didn't give me the right time.
Mr. Fortaways, we all have responsibilities, but, you know, if you could show up on time, that would be very helpful to all of us.
I don't know how to work. I don't know how to deal with this right now, working this out with you. I don't know.
Mr. Fortaways.
Looks like you guys need a peer mediator.
Well, what's that about?
We help you solve your problems.
Like how?
Well, we give examples and we try and make everything great for you guys.
Oh, okay. Are there any rules? What are the rules?
Be respectful. Listen. Attack the problem, not the person. Take responsibility. Tell the truth. Work together to solve the problem.
I think I can follow those rules.
I think I can handle that too.
Thank you. About 15 years ago, we started a program at MTS, and it was a really in-depth program where I wanted to get 50 to 60 fifth graders involved, and they formed groups, and those groups would help solve individual conflicts. And the purpose of it back then was I wanted to get 50 or 60 fifth graders going into the middle school understanding conflict skills. And I figured if I can do that every year, that's quite a few kids going into the middle school, and hopefully it will reduce the violence, and the kids will know how to handle situations and, you know, work through their conflict skills. So the purpose was geared more toward the fifth grade class at that time, and that's how we started. Ms. Foyne and I and a few other teachers were sent to a clinic by Mrs. Stevens. It was a great clinic at Rutgers for conflict resolution from the Bar Association, and at that clinic, it was 3 days. We had a great time, and Ms. Foyne and I were actually sitting next to each other, and we looked at each other and said, we want to start this again. And we actually mapped out our whole idea right there and how we wanted to do the kids now. So, and the kids will explain how the program has evolved from back then to now. It's a little different program, but that's how we got started.
Can you guys describe the meeting or events? I think Frankie, we're thinking you could explain to us how, what does peer mediation look like?
It's basically we just walk around at recess and we interact with the kids, the younger kids or our teenage kids, and if they have a conflict, they can just go up to us and ask, tell us that they need a conflict solved.
Fantastic. And Brandon, what else?
When Frankie said we can interact, he meant like, you know, we can go around with the kids and have fun so they're not afraid to do mediation.
Sam M., do you have more to add?
When we are solving problems, we have to be confidential, meaning like we have to keep the problem secret, and that's how everybody.
Nicole, anything?
If the kids are getting physical by hitting each other, we have to take it to an older adult or a teacher outside. We're not allowed to.
And now comes the most important part, our outfits. So, Lita, would you like to explain our outfits to everybody?
Our outfits, we wear yellow shirt so it's bright enough so if somebody needs a peer mediator, they can come up to us so they can see us perfectly and ask us if they're ready to talk.
Okay. Sam, anything else? Sam S?
They have little necklaces or badges, and they have our rules on them so that we can show the kids what the rules are.
Fantastic. Annalisa, I think you had something to add.
And also on the back of our things, we have an I message and you say I and then your feeling and then the way you feel because, and it just like helps the kids in case they get stuck.
Excellent. How do you guys benefit from having this peer mediation program?
We do peer mediation because it can help us for the future so we can be prepared for anything that happens, and it's always going to be a win-win.
Connor, something to add?
Well, we're just making ourselves and other people better people.
Melanie?
We want to help make the school a better place, make a difference. We want to help our next generation.
Kayla?
We're getting ourselves ready for the future so that in middle school we don't lose values for you.
And Brianna, can you wrap it up for us?
We hope kids our age and younger to become responsible and not use our hands or actions and see that about each other.
And does anybody remember how you were chosen? What was our process for being chosen? How were you chosen?
You would have to write an essay or a little summary that would explain why you would want to do it, why we want to do mediation.
Exactly.
How did Mr. Porterway pick you? Go ahead, Annalisa, tell him.
All we have to give him is baby Ruth bars and he'll let us write in.
Thank you, Annalisa.
Thanks, Mr. Porterways.
Well, thank you, Parent Mediation. Manchester, that's all we have for you today. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, we're here today at MTES to learn about their Discovery Club and what they have to offer to the kids. So let's go discover what it's all about.
This is the first time that we're doing the Discovery Club, and it's been designed to help children to discover wonderful books and to really enjoy reading, and to kind of inspire them to find and share great titles and great books. So they're sharing with each other and getting excited about reading.
What we've been working on is like a book, and it's about Chris Van Allsburg and his creativity. And we decided that it should be about the Discovery Dragon and a kid named Bob Berrybottom.
It's all based on teacher recommendation, and so when the children come, we have certain expectations, of course, because they're being recommended to the program by the teachers. And we, again, just really want them to develop a great love of reading and want to have fun with it.
We've been working on book, and everyone gets to do their own page, and what, like this one, it has Bob Berrybottom, as Dylan said, doing his homework and doing something about dragons. In this book, he ends up going into a dragon and turns everybody else into dragons.
The expectations are for them to make a commitment to come every day as much as possible, and the attendance is excellent. And to be willing to share. They're reading on their own reading level. They're choosing books that we've provided lots of choices for, and just again for them to work hard. We're guiding, right, and to really enjoy, and to again the sharing with each other of books that they're finding. You know, that's a really important part of it, because kids like to do what their friends like to do, and like to share those kinds of things.
We already have had a Barnes & Noble night where the students have been able to go with their families and again share that love of reading, win some books, listen to many teachers and educators reading to them at Barnes & Noble, and we're going to be continuing that and having another one coming up very soon. We also have a book swap program here at school, which Mrs. Bastian, you want to tell a little
Yes,
bit
we're
about
just created, newly created. Children haven't had the opportunity yet, but we have books that have been donated by the community, and we're going to have children bring in a book from home that they're finished with, that they don't want anymore, and then swap it just to, again, inspire that incentive to reading. And we're also having our first ever family night at the town library, Manchester Library, as a result of the Discovery Club. So some great things happening.
Now that we've discovered everything we need to know about, for MTHS 21, I'm Christian.
Are you on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh my god, look at that cool band page.
Oh, can you believe that Sydney changed her relationship status again?
Check out these videos made by high school students on social media and a local school band.
Have you ever been involved in a social network such as Facebook or Twitter? If so, have you ever had any altercations? What do you think about these websites? Today we'll be discussing the pros and cons of social networks.
Where you think you're going, baby?
Social networks can be beneficial for those who need help with homework or may need a friend.
Good things could be, I think it's helpful with students with their homework and stuff. Also reaching out to people, friends that you don't get to see, family members.
Definitely.
It's good to communicate. You don't have to pick up a phone or text. You can go on Facebook or Twitter, Twitter each other. That's some positive things about it.
On the other hand, bullying is a huge issue of social networks.
Definitely bullying. The kids will go on and say something, post something, and the
Thank you,
next
Mary.
thing you know, text in lunch or by the bricks or something, school bus outside.
Yeah.
Not so good things about it.
Although there are many pros such as getting homework from friends, the cons such as bullying need to stop. Social networks have a great effect on society today. With MTHS 21, I'm Elizabeth Piercy.
Hi, I'm Luke, and I'm here with the local Manchester band, Half Days. I'm here with rhythm guitarist and lead singer Brian Wood, and drums and backup vocals Andrew Lawler. So, how did you guys start playing together?
We were in the middle school band together, and I noticed he was a good guitarist, and I played drums, and he came over to my house and we jammed a little bit.
And the sparks flew. You guys record often?
Yeah, pretty often.
What's your favorite song to record?
We just recorded a good one called Elmer, like last week.
What do you guys think about the other local Manchester high school bands?
Well, they're pretty good. I mean, they mostly play metal. There's one pretty good band, Knights of Malice, but they're really heavy. They play screamo, and they're good at what they play, but none of the other bands have that much talent, really.
So I realize you guys are the original members of the band. How did the bassist and the lead guitarist get inside the band?
Well, the bassist came along, Sweet D, because we went to the same elementary school, and I knew she played bass.
I was there.
And she was pretty good in the middle school band, so I told her to come and jam. And Angie wasn't too fond of having a girl, but once we heard her skills, she was definitely in.
And our lead guitarist, Nick, he actually lives right across the street from me. And one day, I heard him play guitar, and I thought he would be a pretty good lead guitarist in my band, so I asked him to join.
I'm here now with lead guitarist Nick Schmidt and bassist Deanna Meshi. So Deanna, how did you start first playing bass?
Well, I saw School of Rock and I thought the girl was awesome, so I wanted to be her, so that's what that is.
So Nick, how did you start playing guitar?
Well, it all started when I was real little, I was listening to bands like Motley Crue and everything, and they had these heavy distorted guitars, and I was just in love with it. And then my parents bought me an acoustic guitar, and I was kind of upset about that because it did not make the sound I wanted it to. So then I dropped it, and then I discovered an amplifier, and then that's what really started it, and I've been playing ever since. I'd say, as far as the band goes, Kings of Leon played a huge part in our influences. As a personal guitarist, I used to be in a lot of heavy stuff, but that's just me. How about you, Deanna?
Kings Leon for sure, and the bassist influenced me a lot, and No Doubt, the No Doubt bassist definitely influenced me.
No doubt.
Recently, our students got to visit Ridgeway Elementary School,
where they got the chance to learn about the Media Center, the art program, iPads, and using a new video game to learn about slavery in the classroom.
Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Christian, and here I am at the elementary school's Media Center. Ever wonder what this Media Center filled with glorious books is used for, and how often the kids go here? We're going to find out soon when I interview Mrs. Soak. enough about this glorious library. Hello, I'm here at Ridgeway at the Media Center with Mrs. Zoke, here to answer a few questions about the Media Center here. So, Mrs. Zoke, as a librarian, what exactly is the message you want to get across here to the students here?
Well, since reading is such an important part of everyone's education, and if you struggle with reading, you struggle with all subjects. So reading is such a big part, and literacy is such an important part of it, so that what we do is we try to instill a love of reading. I try to provide all kinds of different kinds of books for all interests. I do teach the children all the elements of research also, because information literacy is also an important part as they get on with their education. So research is a big part of what we do also, and just provide an atmosphere of the love of learning.
And I see you have a wide collection of books here. As far as genre goes, how many genres or types of books do you have here for the kids here?
Well, we do have a whole section on the easy readers, the fiction picture book, so that the younger children, the kindergartners and first graders, read with their families, and then leveled readers so that they can learn to read independently also. And then we go on to chapter books, and the chapter fiction books are all kinds of books, mysteries and adventure, science fiction, historical fiction, realistic fiction, because as the children mature, they kind of develop their own style. And of course, there's lots of nonfiction. Nonfiction's always popular. Informational books that they can either just learn something about animals or the solar system or anything that's curriculum related. I have biographies, and of course lots of biographies of sports stars that are extremely popular all the time, and a reference section. I still have some print encyclopedias just to help with the research process.
Also, with the computers now, obviously technology is a big important part of today. How is that how do you incorporate that with the students now? Like, do they actually use the computers, or?
Well, I do have a Promethean board. I had gotten a Promethean board and a laptop and a projector at a grant that I had written. So I use that for a lot of mini lessons. I use it for some instructional flip charts for the kids, PowerPoint presentations to highlight lessons. And then all the children, I do have 10 computers for the children to use. So by third grade, they learn how to use the computers to search for a book. They can go on certain websites that have been pre-selected, because it is a learning process at this age. We want to make sure that we pre-select sites that are good for them and useful for them, and teach them how to negotiate the difference between sites that are not good and not appropriate for elementary school children. I do also have World Book Online that we have a subscription to, which is a good thing, that we know we can always go get really valid, great information from there. They do have little video clips that the kids, and charts, they learn how to read charts and captions and things like that by using all of those sites. So most every lesson, especially for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, there's some element of technology within every lesson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that's all you need to know about the Ridgeway's library. I'm Christian for MTHS 21, and I got some reading to catch up on.
At Ridgeway Elementary School, the students love their art class with Miss Ventriella. We recently got to take a look at them and what they were doing and what they were learning in their classes.
In this case, it means that things are popular. So a heart is a popular symbol. It's a popular thing to draw. So this is one kind of pop art. There are many kinds. If you want your colors to be lighter, you can dab it when you're done. If you want your colors to be darker, don't dab it. All right? You can just dab the heart.
It looks like hands.
At Ridgeway Elementary, Ms. Ventrilo's art class learns about all aspects of art during the year, such as three-dimensional art, drawing, painting, and mixed media. During our visit, the students were demonstrating an understanding of the elements and principles that govern the creation of paintings. It was fun to watch each child express themselves in painting through various choices of color, shades, and tinting. We definitely get to witness just how important art is to education, as well as to the students. Just look at how much fun they're having.
Being in the classrooms, even I myself learned about warm colors and cool colors and all the different types of mosaics and different artworks that there are. For MTHS 21, I'm Sherry.
Did you know that you can use iPads for more than just watching TV or playing games? You can also use it for learning. Recently, Ms. Paula Castro's third grade class had the privilege of receiving iPads in the classroom.
Our class is lucky enough to have 2 iPads. Last year, I wrote a grant for MTEF, which is the Manchester Township Education Foundation, and we were lucky enough for them to purchase us 2 iPads to use in the classroom. We mainly use them at our Daily 5 centers for math and for reading and language. And the way that they're set up, it's very child-friendly for the kids to be able to use the apps, whether they're reading a book on it or playing a math game, using flashcards, or learning the states. So each inside the iPad, I have it categorized either math or reading so the kids know right away. Right now, they're currently working on reading centers during Daily 5, so they would go into and touch the reading one, and then there's various games and there's various books that they can go into and just maneuver them. Okay, here's one that they would just pick a book that they could read, and they just click on it, and it would open up the book, and then they could read by themselves. It can read it to them, or it could just play like a PowerPoint presentation.
Isn't it amazing what you can do with these iPads? For MTHS 21, I'm Cassie.
Greetings from Ridgeway Elementary. I'm here with Barbara Ambler to discuss with her her lesson on slavery and past America. Let's dive in, shall we?
We've been studying colonial America, and one of the lesson here today that you'll be seeing is on slavery. Something like this, first of all, is highly engaging for the students. As you see, it's on the board behind me. It's done through the computer, and all my students are on computers right now. It's playing an online so-called video game, but they go through it in a different way. But how it's relevant, besides keeping them engaged, is it gives them an insight to colonial America wasn't the same for everyone. It depends upon who you were and what class you were in, whether you were a gentry, whether you were middle class, or whether you were a slave. We've been on this lesson for actually a couple of days now. We're in part 3. It's very highly engaging. The students love it. There is reading language work to do with it. They don't even mind doing that. We have vocabulary activities, review questions, writing prompts. It's all based on the game. And what's great about this is that they all go through this game in a different way because it depends upon what questions and how they answer the questions on, how they go through the game. So although we'll go through review questions, all their experiences are different. So they get a real feel for what it was like to be a slave back in the 17th century. The whole lesson will be about a week long. We started on Monday, and there's 5 episodes and an epilogue. And as I said, we're on part 3 right now. We've also had different things that we've done with runaway slave posters and other activities that go with this besides the prompts, the writing prompts. The writing prompts put them where they put themselves in it. It's the scenario that they give themselves based on something that happened in the game. So it also brings real life and their experiences into it. So they really cement their learning. We have covered the life of a gentry, a day in the life of different classes of people. We've covered the gentries. We covered how the household is different from the gentries and the slaves. We covered apprentices. and things like that. It's all, and I say it's all relevant. I went to a workshop a couple of years ago, teaching and learning workshop up in New York City, and one of the presenters was a gentleman from PBS, Public Service Television 13, and they had just developed what you see behind me is the first one, Mission 1 for Crown to Colony, and that's all about the Boston Massacre. And once I saw how engaging it was, I immediately came back. Everything's online. You just print it out in a PDF format. And there's a lot of different, it's not just all about the video game, it's how they go through the video game. And there's different activities to go with it. And I won't even say activities, it's meaningful learning. It's all relevant to what they are.
So you heard it here, Manchester. Video games can properly educate children. With the help of this game, Miss Ambler has been able to properly teach children about a pivotal part in American history. For MTHS 21, I'm Kyle. Thank you for watching.
Recently, our students got to visit Manchester Township Middle School,
where they got to learn about guidance, study island, and the new gym floors.
Let's check it out.
The Manchester Middle School Guidance Department provides many services, activities, and interviews for students to develop their personalities. We recently got to sit down with a couple guidance counselors and ask them a couple questions.
A typical day consists of us seeing many different students for many different types of issues, as simple as a little quarrel with a fellow student, maybe a student having a difficult time in a particular class. We also deal, this year especially, quite a lot with discipline, where we'll work with the vice principal, go down into his office and try to smooth things over before they turn into larger situations.
I think we don't really have a typical day. It really depends on, what's going to be thrown at us that day. When we come in, we really don't know what to expect unless we have like a meeting or something scheduled. For example, yesterday I had parents walk in and talk to me about a bus situation. So it really just depends on what the needs of the kids are on that particular day and the needs of the parents.
Like I said, Mrs. Sutherland was working on a headset this morning for a student, with FM receivers for some of our hearing impaired students, so you really don't know what to expect from a day-to-day basis, so you have to come in with an open mind and really be ready to deal with whatever is put out there for you. We have a very good rapport with administration. They rely on us for quite a few things around here. I'm also the HIB officer in the school. That's the harassment, intimidation, and bullying officer. So if there is a situation where administration feels that a student may be bullied, they'll come to me. I'll go down, I'll assess the situation and determine if it is or not a bullying situation or if it's just a typical type discipline situation. We also deal with them, again, just to try to smooth things over with students, maybe before it becomes, a larger type situation.
I think we kind of all just work as a team. I have 6th grade students right now. Mr. Panzarella is 8th grade, Mrs. Barrett 7th grade, but it really just depends on, who is available at what time. We all help each other, and the same thing with administration. I go to them with any kind of questions that I have, depending on classes or parent questions that I may not be able to answer. I think that we all pretty much work as a team.
I was just going to state, we also all go down for individual lunch periods. Like I'm the 8th grade counselor, so I'll go down for the 8th grade lunch, and administration is also down there, and it's just good for us all to have a visible presence there, so the students see us all there and working together, and it definitely helps to keep the lunches a little bit calmer and just to keep the flow of the day moving. Well, we communicate with our students on a daily basis. There's always going to be some students that need our services more than others, but we see all of the entire student body. Like for the 8th grade, I believe there's 227 students, and I will see all of them at least once throughout the school year, but there'll be some of them that I'll see dozens of times, and there'll be others that I'll only see a handful of times, and it really just depends on the particular student. There are those that are going to need our services more than others.
since I have 6th grade, like I said before, I meet with the students in the beginning of the year. This year was a little bit different with the situation that we had with the building, but my plan is to always see everyone at least once, just to introduce myself and let them know why I'm here and what I can do for them, and let them know where my office is so that they can find me. Since the 6th graders are new to our school, I like to meet with everyone before Thanksgiving. That's my deadline personally. This year it didn't work like that, because of the situation. But so like Mr. Panzarella said, we meet with every single student at least once, and then, on a recurring basis, depending on what the situation is, for follow-up and things like that.
The middle school guidance provides activities, interventions, and services which assist students in achieving their maximum personal development, both as learners and human beings. It is important to help students recognize their needs and abilities and to develop strategies to realize their full potential. Parents should take full advantage of the parent portal to help monitor students' achievements. I'm Casey, reporting for MTHS 21.
Hello, Manchester. Do you remember in the beginning of the year when Manchester Middle School and High School had to share school due to the mold incident? Well, now they had to pull up all the rug and clear up all the mold, and now they have wooden floors.
Sneaker was squeaking at the Manchester Township Middle School for the first time ever. So far, everyone seems to agree the best thing to come out of the mold situation was the replacement of the carpeted gym floor with the beautiful new wood floor.
So happy today, Manchester. Thank you for coming with me on this trip to Manchester Middle School. I hope you enjoyed.
Do you remember Study Island? Your teachers nagging you to get those blue ribbons? Don't reminisce too much, for we have Mr. Forup here who's going to tell us all about it. Study Island is an American subscription-based online education company. The company's core business, being Study Island, provides standards-based instruction, practice, testing, and other tools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade.
The website itself has become a little bit more user-friendly. It's a little more, the graphics are better, it looks nicer, it's more appealing. We have to do a lot of different things to appeal and to work with different students' talents and different students' skills. So Study Island definitely works with some students. Other students do have some difficulties with it, but it exposes them to problems that they would see on the state tests, on teacher tests. So it's, as one of the many tools in a school, it is very beneficial. So the biggest problem with using Study Island is just time in the computer lab. We still, on average, use it about once every other week per subject.
Study Island. A great program for not only teaching students about certain subjects, but also for how to utilize today's technology and how it can improve our education. I'm Christian, MTHS 21, signing off.
Recently, we sent our students to Ocean County College,
where they got a chance to race cardboard boats that they made in technology class.
So let's check it out.
Did you know that you can build a boat with cardboard and duct tape? Well, I'm here at OCC, where high school students from all over the area are putting this theory into practice. They're competing in various events to test how their boat can swiftly maneuver through a pool without capsizing. Let's check it out. Over 12 schools participated in the annual Ocean County Cardboard Canoe Races. Each school was required to build at least one boat and complete a presentation outlining the design concept and materials used. The teams took turns competing in the college's pool, testing buoyancy and speed. The most competitive event was the flat cardboard canoe race. Each school was given a flat piece of pre-cut cardboard, duct tape, and cardboard tabs to hold the material in place. Once the clock started, the teams had to build a boat and then make it across the pool, the winner being the fastest across the finish line. We also got a chance to speak with some teams.
We looked at other previous designs, and we looked at the races from last year and looked at the boats that were successful and unsuccessful. And I also sail all the time in the summer, so I took boat designs from that and previous boat designs and put them together. We started with a flat piece of cardboard. We scored the sides, folded them up, then we used paper binder clips and held them together. Then we cut the front pieces out, we cut it all out, then we glued it together, and then we duct taped everything. And we put more layers of cardboard in, and then we duct taped it again. And then covered it with contact paper. Yeah, I learned that you have to improvise a lot when things don't go your way, and it was a fun experience. It was good.
We were thinking about the designs. We came up with a bunch of different designs, but this is the one that stuck out most to us. First, we cut out the cardboard after we made the design, and we did our measurements, we did all of that, and then we just cut it out and put it together with polyurethane and the caulking, number one. A lot of it, actually. Silicone, it's a boat of silicone, basically. It was fun, to say the least.
At first, it was really hard to paddle, but then I got the hang of it and started going really fast. It was still hard to turn around, but it was really fun altogether, and it was a really good time.
In the town where I was born lived a man who sailed to sea, and he told...
All right, and first place stand. Drake Township, SP10.
Well, that about wraps it up for this event. This was a great experience, and it was fun to see the ingenuity and effort all the students put into engineering their boats. For MTHS 21, I'm Isaiah.
In our yellow submarine, we all live in a yellow submarine. Yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine. Yellow submarine, yellow submarine. And our friends are all aboard. Many more of them live next door.
Well, that's all the time we have for you today, Manchester.
We hope you enjoyed the very first episode of the Hawkeye.
And next year, we hope to produce many more episodes of the Hawkeye featuring the community as well.
So until then, I'm Cassie Malaya.
And I'm Sherry Getz.
So stay classy, Manchester.